Ready to chug?
You already know.
3, 2, 1, go. How's it going, guys? Welcome to Guys, Beers, and Sports. I'm Chewy.
I'm Adam.
Paul.
And welcome to the show. It's been over a month, guys. Haven't seen you guys. We haven't had a show in a while.
Social distancing, man.
Social distancing. How are you guys doing?
Good, man.
Doing good.
Fam's good. How's your fam?
They're still alive. We're still here. We're still good. We're kicking.
Why you look around when you say that?
I gotta make sure that. I gotta make sure they don't hear me. All right. No, we're good. We're good. I think everyone's doing fine. It's just been a long time already. The pandemic's been pretty crazy. Would you agree?
Yeah. I'm just happy nobody in my family's got sick yet. So
Yeah. Thank
Just
God.
happy I was able to get a haircut yesterday.
Right. I just got mine done too, actually. So, but yeah. So we're back, guys. We're back. We're ready to start doing more episodes, more shows, bring you some good content. Sports is finally starting to creep back in, right? Bars are starting to reopen, everything's starting to go back to normal in a sense, but that could be a good thing and a bad thing.
yeah.
Right?
Good thing for us. We probably get you guys new beers that we could try out. So
That's what we're looking forward to, right?
yeah.
New beers. Sports slowly creeping back in here, though. We had UFC last night, which was kind of cool to see. Like, I'm not the biggest UFC fan. I didn't really know all the fighters, but it was just nice to see it.
It was weird to see it too.
Yeah.
No one in the stands or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All hype for the fighters.
That's kind of how wrestling's been. Have you noticed
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, wrestling.
It's funny when you see the fighters,
It really
the wrestlers,
is.
they're like trying to go like that to the crowd. There's no one there.
There's no cheering. There's nothing, and then they're still doing like the acting.
Yeah, they're still talking.
They're still doing the microphones and all that stuff. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but they're trying to keep going. I mean, people are watching it because there's really not that much. But you say you saw something on ESPN that was what was it? Professional cornhole?
Yeah, I saw professional cornhole like 2 weeks ago. I was working on my car, had my TV on, and there it was. They were all wearing masks, and they looked pretty good.
Well, hey. Well, I
It
mean,
looked like they would kick our asses at cornhole.
Well, elaborate on what cornhole is, that it's a game of events.
cornhole, guys. So
Not the Beavis and Butthead cornhole.
cornholio, not the cornholio, and not the small town cop type of cornhole either.
Let's go back to the station house. Cornhole us some drunks.
Either. So. What the sheriffs? But it's the beanbag toss game, right? So you got the wood planks that go down, and then you got the beanbags and you toss. It's like horseshoes. Essentially, it's horseshoes, but with beanbags, right? So it's a pretty cool game. We played it a few times, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I mean, cornhole was on there.
We did forget to ask Sam how he was doing with the pandemic.
That's right, Sam. We
how's the
forget
fam-
that since you're not
how's
on
the
camera, we
family
forget
and
to throw you in.
Because I'm wearing a camouflage today. So, luckily,
His man bun got longer too,
it,
by the way.
it did. I was able to finally braid my pubes. Love it. Now, luckily the family's doing well. I'm surviving. Finished a small car project. Trying to be productive. So far so good. But I'm hoping it continues as far as me being mature about it. But life.
Staying busy, right?
Yeah.
What kind of car project?
Put in a new box into the vehicle, put in the amps and so forth. So
Subwoofer box.
yeah.
Right on. And it sounds pretty good. It sounded pretty good. I got to hear it. It sounded pretty dope.
I didn't get to hear it, so I can
Me
comment
neither.
on that. I don't believe it.
Probably sounds like crap. Sad.
Well, Sam did do it, but hey, it's all right. It's all right. I'm not sure.
Probably the wires are catching on fire right now.
The amp exploded.
Crack my
Why you guys gotta hate
windshield.
for? Why you guys gotta hate
Crack my
for? By the way,
windshield.
Adam, tell your mama I said hello.
Sorry, Mama said hello. tell her I said, hello.
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 Hello. Hello. Hello. What? Oh, hello. Hello. Go away. Go away.
But yeah, so sports were coming on. You saw cornhole. You know, it's like all these little sports that we don't really consider sports are starting to come up. There's something bigger going on there. I'm just waiting for the Ocho to become a real thing. When the Ocho comes on a real thing and the guys are whipping each other with sticks and beating each other's asses with them, that'd be pretty funny to watch. I think so.
ESPN 8, the Ocho, bringing you the
Cotton. Back to you, Cotton.
He's blindfolding himself. Yes, he won't be able to see well, Cotton.
We should do that with Sam. Back to you, Cotton.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Because got that man look like handball.
All right. So,
The draft happened.
The draft did happen in sports news from what's been going on.
While we were absent.
The draft was going on, so that was kind of a big highlight for us because we haven't really had any sports draft. I believe you said you're not really big on watching the draft. I mean, I didn't watch all the draft either, but for some reason, I think because we didn't have sports this year, the draft was kind of bigger for us.
Yeah, I actually watched it with you.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, we got to actually watch it. We followed it. But it was pretty cool to see. So now with the draft, everybody was at home though. So it wasn't the normal draft where everybody was at the stadium or wherever the venue was, and Roger Goodell comes up and announces the picks. Yeah, he gets booed. Well, they were still doing the booing. Did you see that?
From the Zoom calls and stuff?
Yeah. So that was kind of funny because some of the teams didn't even have a full layout. Yeah, they didn't
Chargers.
have all the
They're
fans.
talking about you, Chargers.
The Chargers and the Broncos. At one time, they had nothing but cheerleaders on there. I guess they couldn't get any fans on there. But yeah, so I mean, it was kind of cool to see though. It's everybody was at home. They were with their families. So do you think that's better?
And yacht. They're on yachts too.
Oh, Jerry Jones with the mega yacht. That was ridiculous. That was an awesome yacht though. That'd be kind of cool actually. But what do you guys think? Is it better to be there?
You're not getting paid because Jerry spent all the money.
Yeah, it all went to the yacht.
The intense finger.
And we got Andy Dalton. All right, anyway, let's talk about the number one draft pick, guys. Joe Burrow, right? Number one went to
Bengals.
the Bengals. What's your opinion on that? What do you guys think about it?
I mean, the Bengals did need a change at quarterback. I mean, it felt like they were stuck in a rut.
Right.
I mean, Andy Dalton did good, like when he first started, and then he just got in that rut and he couldn't get out.
Like they
So
got too comfortable, right?
Yeah, I think the change for them is going to be good, but we'll see what the future holds for the Bengals. No?
Sometimes some fresh legs might change the pace, right?
Yeah, new attitude.
Well, I think they needed more than a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
From the stories that Carson Palmer has told, it's management is the owners. They're not really good. So I don't know. I hope he does good for himself, and he's able to carry the team. But I don't know.
right. Well, I think it's going to be a building period for sure. I mean, they do need a lot more pieces. It's a chess game, They're going to need a lot more pieces. But I think having Joe Burrow there, if he brings that enthusiasm that he had with LSU, I think players are gonna want to play with him. So he's gonna amp up players. He's gonna bring the best out of a lot of people.
Not in Cincinnati.
Right, in Cincinnati, it's gonna be rough.
Play in Cincinnati.
But like, there's gonna be people. If he's building, if he shows like, if you look at
also, I think he's older. I think he's getting overhyped a little bit. I think he's up there in age. Yeah, he might learn a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure he's like closer to his like ceiling than like a lot of the young.
So maybe he's already reaching his peak. Already?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I mean, and that's true. When you're stuck with a team that's pretty much dead last in the league, it's hard to take advantage of your youth at that point because you need that time to develop. And then you might run his course sooner than later, right? And by that time, the team
he's gonna be
catches up.
28, 29.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he might just be that filler right now where they start building, and then they might have to draft another quarterback when they're ready, right? To try to make a run.
So with the Bengals getting a new quarterback, how do you feel about Andy?
Andy Dalton?
Patrick Mahomes.
Andy Dalton, I'm excited about it. I'm just happy because, like I was saying, I saw the quarterback depth chart for the Cowboys.
On Madden, right?
On Madden, right. I just pulled it up, and all we had was Dak Prescott and Mike White. So we didn't have no depth on there, right? And
Who?
White?
Mike White. Who?
Mike White.
Thank you, Chewy.
Let me go ahead and edit that out before someone gets offended. I don't want to offend a
You
Karen.
said White.
I don't want to offend a Karen.
There it is, Karen.
You said
All right,
White.
I did say White.
No, you said
So
Karen.
I'm excited about having them though, because
We're color neutral in this place. Right?
we definitely are. I mean, I think he was good with Cincinnati. He actually puts up a decent performance. I'm not saying he's a great quarterback or anything, but to have him as a number 2, solid. But we'll get more into that. But I think it's going to put pressure on Dak for sure.
He
But
might
we'll
be
get
your-
more into
He
that.
might be your number 1. Just saying.
He might just be. But we'll get into that. So what do you think about Tua? Tua going to Miami. Miami's definitely building. They're building hard right now too. So they're definitely trying to make a run because they traded all their good players at one point in time.
4 picks.
But they benefited from it, from all the picks
and
that
they
they picked up.
overachieved, you know, with the players that they did.
Yeah. Yeah, they did pretty good there.
I think their coach is he's going to be a good coach. What's his name? Brian Flores.
Oh yeah, now with Tom Brady out of New England, so Miami's trying to take over that division.
It's wide open. It's wide open.
Right. Oh, well, I mean,
And then he has they kept Ryan Fitzpatrick, right?
They kept Fitz,
as a backup, yeah.
Yeah. So
And even
so
though-
he's gonna learn from
And then
the
Buffalo was,
Magic Man.
yeah.
That's a
And
pretty
Buffalo
good
was doing
player.
pretty good last year, and then they just added Diggs. I mean, so Buffalo kind of made some moves too, and that whole division is just going to be
It's gonna be
a
up
lot
for
better.
grabs. Yeah.
Interesting to watch.
It's gonna be up for grabs, that's for sure. And I think actually the Patriots drafted a quarterback too.
Did they?
Yeah, I think they ended
did.
up drafting a quarterback.
Can you check that for us, please?
I don't think
Yeah,
they
he's
did.
going. I think they ended up drafting a quarterback. I'm pretty sure, but I think it was in like the 3rd round or 4th
Yeah, it was in
round.
later rounds.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
If they did, I think it was like in the 5th.
I mean, we talked about all 3 teams in that division. But we didn't mention the Jets.
Are they really
Sam
worth
Darnold,
mentioning?
if he keeps away from mono, he might have a
From
chance.
He's not even worried about COVID. It's that mono.
Man.
But Tua, I mean, Tua's coming off of an injury. So they said that kind of dropped him from that possible number 1 draft pick.
I mean, but a lot of players come out of college with injuries and they shine. So I mean,
Yeah.
you can't really knock him for getting hurt in college.
And that's true. So I think the risk that the team, so maybe Cincinnati would have gone with Tua, but I think the risk there was that injury. It's just, I think that kind of set some people back on wanting to pick him up. But I mean, like you said, I mean, for example, I'm pretty sure we can all speak to our own teams on that. But like Jalen Smith came off of an injury when we drafted him, and now he's one of the top linebackers in the league. So, but if you bounce back, I mean,
And
there's
if-
definitely
and
high
if-
potential to bounce back strong.
And if Miami beefed up the O line, I mean, he got the protection.
Yeah, and they
If
were
you gotta-
doing that. They were doing that in the draft.
And if you have a team with no O line, of course you're gonna pass up a quarterback
And
that's injured.
he has the best situation too, because he's not going to be forced to start. You know what I mean? He has a starter in front of him already in Fitzpatrick that he can learn from, and
Learn to
like
play
get used to like the NFL, take hits, and get used to it. You see how his body's going to respond to it. You know, before they throw him in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the whole point of having a
Joe,
solid number
Joe
2.
Burrow's going to get thrown in.
Yeah, they got no choice. Yeah, they got no choice with that one. But yeah, Tua. I mean, Tua's. We'll see. We'll see what if he bounces back. If he comes back from that injury.
Not taking QB.
Oh, they did it.
They took a kicker.
Oh wow.
Oh, the racist kicker.
The racist kick.
Yeah.
The Chargers, number 6 pick, Justin Herbert. They needed a quarterback. I was kind of skeptical of whether or not they were going to sign a veteran quarterback or not, because there was still some up for grabs for a minute there.
Cam Newton's still
Yeah.
out there, man.
Exactly, and I was kind of thinking that he's either going to go there or New England might try to pick him up. I was also thinking that too.
Yeah, but the Chargers made a good move by picking up Herbert. Just for the simple fact that it's a young quarterback, fresh. They want to try to probably build around him, and that's their main guy.
I think they were going kind of through the same thing that they went through with Cincinnati went through, where they were just stuck and comfortable with Rivers, but Rivers wasn't doing it for them anymore. And I think the same thing with Rivers, because Rivers went to Indianapolis, right?
Yeah, he went to Indy.
He went to Indianapolis, and so I mean, he can do something over there. That's possible. I mean, Indianapolis
Who?
is not a bad team. Rivers.
Oh, yeah, no, Rivers is down. So
I mean, he's old, but what I'm saying is that the whole point is that the Chargers were
Adam has a better
comfortable.
arm than Rivers.
More accurate. He can hit the circle
Hit
fence.
the circle fence.
But I mean, the good thing is that they both moved on from each other. So they both moved past it. The Chargers finally let go of what they thought was their savior, and I think, like you said, they have a young quarterback, and they're going to see what they can do with it. So, do you think the Chargers?
None of that matters.
Do you think Chargers are going to have a winning record?
Nah,
That's their division, right?
Chiefs,
Yeah.
baby.
I'm gonna say no, just because the quarterback situation. I mean, he's still young. They'll probably get a couple wins.
Their defense is pretty mean though.
Yeah, but
They got
I mean,
Bosa. They got Ingram.
it all depends on how.
They got that safety. What's his name? Edwin James or something like that. He's a beast.
Yeah, it all depends on how he comes out and he takes his first couple hits by bigger boys in college. You know what I mean?
So it's going to be a building period pretty much for them. Okay.
So my personal opinion, I don't expect the Chargers to do much.
All right.
If they do more than 500, I'll be surprised. Just because it's a new quarterback.
Right.
And watch, this is a year they'll probably do really good because every time the Chargers get big to make the playoffs or be a Super Bowl contender, they suck. But when no one picks them, that's when they do really good.
That's when the Raiders actually. The Raiders have been
They still kept
stacking
right?
up on veterans. Do you notice that? They're still stocking up on a lot of veterans here. I think they're just trying to coach up the young guys now.
I think the Raiders pick was a panic pick. Dude.
For the wide receiver?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard because there was leaked interest from the Chiefs to draft Ruggs. I think he had the fastest time, right?
At the combine.
At the combine, and there was a leak that the Chiefs wanted him. So I think that's what the Raiders.
So maybe they
To,
just
like,
want
keep
to
them
keep
away,
them away
yeah.
from the Chiefs.
And I think the Chiefs leaked it to keep the Raiders from drafting a CB
Well, can you imagine having Ruggs and Tyreek Hill?
and Cole
That'd be
Hardman.
very, very
Like,
dangerous.
that'd
But
be ridiculous.
I also heard that they're changing up their game plan, their schematics. One of the reasons that they said yes to Mariota so quickly is because when they were prepping for the Ravens, Mariota was running the offense against the defense just like Lamar Jackson would, and apparently he tore up that defense running it that way, playing in that manner, not the way he normally played as a quarterback for the Titans. They said that they caught video of it. That's the kind of schematic they want to start running, and that's why they brought him in to see if Carr can adapt to that. If not, they're probably going to go with Mariota as their starter. And with that kind of setup, it's kind of like the Chiefs play setup, right? Speed. Can speed beat power? And that's the change that they're trying to make.
And then
Now we can go to
my boys, they went ahead and drafted CD Lamb. I think that right there was. Honestly, I was expecting a cornerback. First rounder, I was expecting a cornerback.
because you guys lost one, right?
Yeah, we lost Byron Jones. He was one of the top cornerbacks in the league right now, and he went to Miami. Miami picked him up. So I expected that because we were going to need some help. We actually lost 2 cornerbacks and our safety. Our safety went to Jeff Heath. He went to the Raiders. But we did sign Clayton Diggs. And now he's a little... And he's still young. I mean, he's what, 27, I think he was? 26, something like that. So he still has some, and then he worked with Mike McCarthy. So maybe they were kind of relying on that, which is what drove them for the wide receiver, because we lost Randall Cobb to the Texans. So we didn't have that slot receiver, and then Jason Witten went to the Raiders. So I think they wanted somebody to go ahead and fill in those little slots. They wanted that slot receiver. And they were talking about this kid actually being a slot receiver, molding him into one. He's pretty quick, and he has hops apparently. But
It's a good pick, but who's going to be his quarterback? Though?
that's the question, right?
Like, is it going to be Dak or Andy?
And that's to be determined. I mean, like I said, I do like that Jerry signed Andy Dalton though, because I think that's just gonna put pressure on Dak to sign.
Yeah.
It's either he's gonna sign or he's gonna sit out the
I mean,
season.
what did you say he's asking for now? What, 42?
His 5th year, he wants 42 million.
Yeah, he ain't with that.
Going back to our first episode, I agree. I don't think he's worth that much money.
Right. He's good, right? But he just hasn't proven the fact that he's worth the money.
Yeah,
he
he
had
hasn't
what,
proven
one
it yet.
playoff win
Yeah.
against us when we had what Malarkey.
And it's that
so,
much sweeter.
so no, I'm
Wait,
just
he has
saying
a
it's,
playoff win against you?
He can't have
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
playoff
you
win
guys are
against
AFC.
Yeah, you
No,
can't
no,
beat.
sorry. We had one
What
playoff
did
win.
you
Is, what year was it?
Against the
Second
Seahawks,
year,
I
first
think.
year. But I know he only has one
No,
playoff
it was
win,
the
right?
Seahawks.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
It was the Seahawks. Yeah, that's when we won
Yeah.
in the wild card round.
So yeah, wild card round he has one win, and they're talking about him there kind of the way Romo was talked about, right? Like he kind of can't do it when the pressure's on or whatever.
Yeah.
Romo was more injuries. He hasn't been injured, so that's the situation you're kind of.
I mean, there's.
I think he's in the same ballpark as Carson Wentz, Jared Goff. That's where he needs
Exactly.
to get paid.
But I think he needs
He's
to
not just
understand
no
that too.
fucking Lamar Jackson, no Deshaun Watson, no Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he hasn't shown that at all. I think if anything, maybe he goes for a shorter term,
3 years, you think?
maybe a 3-year term.
Well,
See if
the
he
thing
gets
is,
on it.
I think the Cowboys want to give him 5 years.
No,
He
right.
wants 4.
Right, and I agree with that. The Cowboys want to lock him in, and I see that. But I think from his standpoint, first of all, he's not going to get 40. He's not going to get 40 million. And then now that they brought in Andy Dalton, that's just putting the pressure on him. I think Jerry just put the ball back in his court to say, hey, we have a capable number 2 quarterback who can actually take care of the team. Because there's too many weapons on that freaking team for...
Hopefully you're bored of this guy, CD Lamb.
Yeah,
He's not a beep like
a fluke.
like Amari Cooper and doesn't show up for away games.
Nah, he's I just think with all the weapons that we have, it's gonna be Andy Dalton's gonna be able to do something with them if he needs to step in. So I'm not worried about it. I just think Dak needs to start understanding either sit out or sign. But it's gonna happen. But it's gonna be one way.
Sign the franchise tag. I think that pays him like $35 million. Or
Yeah, he
something
was
like
getting
that.
35 based on that, so it was actually going to be paying him pretty well. But I mean, that's to be determined, man. That's to be determined. So we'll see who it goes. But I think Cowboys were smart in picking up Andy Dalton as soon as he was released. So, but we'll see how that goes.
R.I.P. to his brother though. That is fucked up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dak Prescott's
Yeah.
brother. Yeah, that was pretty rough for him. And that was during the draft. I think that was like the day before the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. But yeah, I mean that's my opinion. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on like Lamb. You know what I mean? Like who's gonna be his quarterback? If they like the little slot receiver, if they don't, it all depends.
Well, the Cowboys are stacked on receivers too.
That's
You got
what I'm
Cooper,
saying.
you
Like
got Galloway, right?
Gallup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gallup,
Michael
yeah.
Gallup.
And this guy,
Yeah.
who's the tight end now?
The tight end is it's either gonna be Schultz or Jarwin, but I think Jarwin's gonna be our number one.
And there's still time
Blake
to make
Jarwin.
some moves before the season starts, right? So I mean that could still change up because a lot of people went into free agency this year. A ton
You
of
guys
players
should
went
give
into free
Aaron
agency.
Hernandez a call.
Nice. You know what? That was another shocker actually. I was kind of surprised we didn't get a tight end either. Like I would have seen a cornerback and a tight end before a receiver, but that's to be determined too. I mean, we'll see how that goes because like you said, there's free agents out there. So
Make a trade with the Bears. The Bears have like 10 tight ends on
They-
their roster.
They play the
Too
call
much.
game. That's what they're doing.
Don't they have like 10
yeah.
or something?
the Eagles, didn't they draft a quarterback as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen
second
Hurts,
round.
right? Yeah.
yeah,
So,
and they even picked up Khalil Tate.
well, there you go.
But I heard they're gonna use Khalil Tate more as a receiver than a
Yeah, I
quarterback.
heard that too. But right now, I think they said they was just gonna be on a practice squad, right?
Yeah,
They're not even
but
sure if he's gonna.
It all
play
depends
yet.
on if he makes it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the same thing that the Saints did. Was it Taysom Hill or whatever? He's a QB, but they
Yeah.
use him as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They brought in
That's what they had.
Jameis Winston.
But is
That's
that
when they had
putting?
Bridgewater too, because they had all 3 quarterbacks out there at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like wherever they threw the ball to the side, like they could still throw the ball further downfield. Yeah, quarterback.
And I think that's why they went with Winston. They're saying that, he's a good replacement as far as what Bridgewater could do, so they can still run those types of plays. Apparently, he had LASIK surgery, so you can actually see now. So it's a setup where, it's an interesting move. I know that when he got drafted first overall, that's who the Saints wanted. They talked about it for a long time. That's who they wanted. They didn't have the first pick. He went to someone else. Now they got him. But, with what happened last season, is he a steal or is he, a questionable pickup? Winston.
He's used to throwing the ball to the Saints, so.
Well, yeah. I think he has 14 touchdowns
practice.
to Saints players, right?
He knows how they work. But do you think Jalen Hurts? Why do you think they picked up Jalen Hurts out for the Eagles?
22.
Huh? So Jalen Hurts with the Eagles. Why do you think they did that? Do you think it's a safety net?
They're covering their asses for
the next time Carson gets hurt.
Not if,
but
when.
And I think that's the debate. So
gets hurt again.
Is it?
And they're hoping that
he gets hurt?
that if let's say Carson's having a good season, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's leading them to the playoffs, he gets hurt. They're hoping that they found the next Nick Foles
mm-hmm.
that can carry them through the playoffs and go on that magical run again.
Right.
But if you look at the Eagles quarterback depth chart, it says Wentz hurt.
Yeah, it says Wentz hurt. It's gonna happen. So you can't stop the inevitable, right? But yeah, and that, I think that was a big thing. Like either they're gonna have a safety net for when Carson Wentz gets hurt, or they're trying to put the pressure on Carson Wentz to
not get hurt.
Not get hurt, I guess. Like I don't know how you can prevent that, but maybe
don't have the same. Don't have a.
Maybe put that
Seattle
fire
team
under his
right
ass.
there.
Maybe put the fire in his ass to maybe work out harder. Maybe try to make him avoid those situations, essentially, right?
Yeah, true.
Which is hard to avoid an injury, but I mean, you can obviously do certain things to try.
Imagine Eagles fans though, when they saw that the Packers drafted a quarterback in the first round, and they were laughing, "Ah, stupid Packers!" And then the second round, their team drafts a quarterback.
Oh man.
So number 22.
Number 22, huh? Justin Jefferson. This is they went to your
That's
team.
your boy.
Who?
Mike Jones?
Jefferson.
Oh, okay, Jefferson.
Moving on up.
There you go. You got to do the dance, son.
Oh no.
All right, so
Jefferson, I like him. As far as us losing Diggs, it's a good replacement. Really feel like we're not losing much by losing Diggs, drafting him. The only thing we're really losing with Diggs is the attitude. This guy apparently does not have the attitude, but we'll see as the games go on and how that builds.
Attitude could be a bad thing though. Sometimes I felt like for your team, like Diggs' attitude was a bad thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like with him, you don't have a Jefferson don't have an attitude, so that's a positive. He's quick, he's fast like Diggs. He has hands apparently like Diggs from looking at his highlight videos. I really feel like we didn't lose too much by losing Diggs after this draft, and we still got Thielen on the other side. So hopefully Cousins could spread the ball more to him and to Thielen and everybody else, and we should have a shot.
love. So number 26 pick, Green Bay went with the shocker, right? They pretty
Green
much
Bay needed
shook
a
everybody.
wide receiver. Green Bay needed help on stopping the run.
They needed a lot of defensive help for sure, but they needed to give them some weapons. Devontae Adams was the only one, and he got injured towards the end of that season.
What's the one position that the
They
Packers
didn't
were good
need?
at? Yeah.
Was definitely quarterback, right? But they just shook the world and drafted a quarterback in the first round, Jordan Love.
Didn't we talk about this earlier? That's what they did with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. So Aaron Rodgers
But the
was drafted
difference is
to
that
replace
Aaron
Brett Favre.
Rodgers,
He should have discount double checked.
no, he fell to them. They traded up 2 spots to go draft this kid.
So they made it a
And,
point.
and remember how we were talking about
That's when he
earlier?
needs to worry. When Jordan Love signs a contract with State Farm, that's when he's out.
and remember how we were talking about earlier about going to the draft or having a virtual draft where you can stay with your family? Aaron Rodgers was one of the ones that suffered the embarrassment. He was like projected to go number 1, number 2, or something like that.
And they passed on him.
He ended up going like
So.
20 something, right? 24th or something like that.
Yeah, it was very late. Because he thought he was gonna go to San Francisco.
They had to pull him from the back.
Yeah.
Well, that's where he wanted to go, right?
Yeah.
He wanted San Fran, and they traded up to take him.
No, San Fran took.
No, I'm
Alex
talking
Smith.
about. Yeah, that's right. Jordan. I mean, why do you think they did that though? You think that they're really trying to get his replacement?
I don't know. I read an article that said that it was like a power move.
Okay.
That they were tired of dealing with Aaron Rodgers' attitude and him feeling like he runs the team. Like since they have a new coach, and
They
all
were
that.
tired of his Brett Favre attitude.
Yeah, and they were like,
Brett Favre
we're
was
gonna show
better
them that
than
this is our team.
Yeah. So I'll kind of just take that control back, essentially, right?
Kinda, yeah.
I mean, he has a broken collarbone. I mean, it hasn't affected him too much, but
Would you take him?
Rodgers.
Rodgers. Would you take him for the Vikings?
I would take him, but I mean,
That's what a lot of
like
people
he
are
said,
saying.
he needed weapons. Like he needed a tight end, he needed a
Right.
receiver. Like you don't need a quarterback, but
No, but what I'm saying is, so in this case, if Jordan Love is the replacement to try to take that power back, that means they're going to be releasing Aaron Rodgers.
so
They can't
So-
release him though. Not for the next 2 years. They owe him way
Or-
too much money.
Or trade him, right? But they're going to take a hit regardless. They're going to take a hit with this.
Not after if they let him play out for 2 years.
True.
I mean,
So
Aaron Rodgers.
maybe they're
played-
just going to
Aaron-
use him to coach him up?
Aaron Rodgers played 3 years behind Brett Favre, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He sat behind him for a good little while there. So, I mean, maybe he'll go to Dallas. Who knows? Maybe we don't even need that no more. Aaron Rodgers. Maybe Mike McCarthy.
That wishful thinking. He fucking hates
We're
Mike
gonna,
McCarthy.
I know. We're gonna take all the Green Bay players. But yeah, man. I think that was probably the biggest shocker of the draft, though, right there. That one just hit harder than the rest of them.
So what's up, Sam? You haven't said anything about any of these.
Well,
drafts.
actually, let's go to your draft pick, Sam. Who's your draft pick?
let's get your take on Love first.
Love. Okay. So, thinking about what happened to Favre. Favre is known as what? Best arm in football when he was in his prime. That dude had
Gunslinger.
yeah, like he had a cannon for an arm, right? Like it was his defining attribute. He did well with them, even when he went to Minnesota that first year. He did well, right?
Throwing
like he's
picks
a-
was his fucking greatest attribute. That
But-
one still hurts.
but he was known as an impactful player. He had that heat factor of crunch time, clutch moments. Rodgers came in, the kid had to, when he was young, he had to kind of work into who he is right now. He was good when he started, he wasn't great. His arm wasn't as strong. Better accuracy, I'll give him that. The mechanics are good. Good, decent scrambler because he's had to do it kind of on his own for a little while because he hasn't had all the weapons in the last couple of years, right?
Well, that's because they're paying him crazy amounts of
Right,
money.
and that's something we
They
gotta
can't-
consider.
and
So,
no- and no-
is he a
and no
team
one-
first guy?
And no one wants to go play in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
But that's what I'm
You
saying.
can't
Like,
even point that shit out.
Is
Especially
he-
for shit money.
is he a team first guy?
But
And that's
please
what
my
it
ass
comes
off,
down
my
to.
bad.
And then to deal with Aaron's attitude, nah.
So
I'll do it.
if that's the case, making a move with Jordan Love, someone who with proper coaching can be just as good as he was in college, yeah, I think that's a good move.
And then let's go to your draft pick. Let's see, who did you get?
Isaiah Wilson.
Isaiah Wilson.
So
Tackle.
we used to have one of the best pass protection guys in the league, Jack Conklin. The dude was good until he tore his ACL, right? That happened a couple years ago. He tried to bounce back from it, kind of really didn't get there, especially when Mike Grable took over, and we were hurting it quite a bit. That dude was great, and we lost that nose.
What was he?
He was an offensive tackle.
Yeah, but what? Like left guard,
Left.
tackle?
Yeah. And so we were struggling. And with the moves that were made, we needed one, we kept Tannehill, right? We don't want him to get hurt the way Mariota, had a broken leg. So we need some protection. We picked up a big boy. He's good. He was great in college at Georgia, actually, as far as protecting his QB. So I think that was a smart play.
All right, and then we got, who did the Chiefs pick up?
We got the running back from LSU.
You guys were in need of a running back, right?
Not really. If we don't remember correctly, I think the running back should have won the the Super Bowl MVP.
That's true. That's true. Well, it's
David
because
Williams. But hey, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he looks like a beast. I'm happy. I mean, I think we could have gone for maybe a middle linebacker or a cornerback.
Okay.
But
And didn't you just lose a defensive tackle too?
another weapon for Patrick.
Patrick Mahomes. Another no-look sidearm.
No, we have 22. No, we have 20 of the 22 senior players coming back. I know one of them was safety Fuller. I don't know who the other one lost us. But it's probably not an important player. The only one that we're like kind of worried about right now is Chris Jones.
Okay.
He's on a franchise tag right now, and he wants a lot of money.
Chris who?
Chris Jones.
Who's who?
Jones.
There, that just went full circle. Now all of us got one.
Yeah.
He deserves it too, but with the money they're trying to pay Patrick, I don't know if they can afford him.
All right. Well, that's the draft. So, a lot of stuff going on. I mean, very eventful. A lot of picks going on. A lot of moves being made. Hopefully, all goes well, and the NFL season goes on schedule. From what we've been hearing and seeing, they're not really planning on shutting it down or pushing it back.
Just no fans.
No fans.
Just no fans, which, you know, Cincinnati won't see a difference. So,
Boy.
Then speaking about the Browns too, I think if
you gotta take them to the Super Bowl.
if Baker doesn't have a good year, dude, I think that's a wrap for him. He has everything he needs.
Yeah, that's true. They're gonna bring back Johnny Manziel.
Did you see his cliff dive fail?
Yeah. Yes. That was hilarious.
Probably jacked out or something.
That was all that jewelry holding them down.
Right,
You can't walk without it no
Or
more.
you know that some people are gonna start calling.
There was another cool thing that kind of surfaced up. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson. So, he's still. And so then, Mike Tyson's gonna come back, and I didn't get too much out of this, but supposedly he is gonna fight for charity. Is that correct?
Yes, he's supposed to be doing short, like 4-round bouts for charity.
Damn, I feel bad for Charity. Charity gonna get knocked the F out of it.
Charity's getting it.
Charity about to catch those hands.
Charity about to lose an ear.
Unless Charity's twerking, then he'll take that. Or a
What's
tiger.
he gonna bite a cheek this time instead of the ear?
He's gonna bite
An
the
ass
nose.
cheek.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
An
saying.
ass cheek.
Coming to the stage is Charity.
Dude, I'm surprised that Scruff McGruff didn't hire Mike Tyson and tell him to take a bite out of crime.
Bad.
But Mike Tyson wants to make that comeback. Let's go ahead and we're gonna view the video of his workout. I mean, the dude looked pretty solid. He was throwing punches pretty rough. I saw his trainer kind of flinch a few times.
But yeah,
Pretty
he
sure he
got
broke
hit by
a
the
rib.
ear.
Yeah.
Got hit by the
I think it
ear.
was protecting his ears, right? In that process.
He looks. It's smart that it's charity 4 rounds. I don't think he would last longer than that, with stamina or whatnot.
Well,
but
there's gonna be a lot of pay-per-view going on for that. They're gonna. I
It's
wonder if
something.
it's gonna be DAZN.
if the what you guys talked about earlier with Evander Holyfield, because he started working out, he released his own video for that stuff too. So
Yeah.
if they do something,
Find
that's gonna bring in money.
Find
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'll look for it.
What is it? What is it? Grudge match? Fucking Kevin Hart?
I would definitely watch Mike Tyson though. I definitely watch a comeback fight for him. I'm just curious to see if he. I mean, in his training he looks good, but I wonder if he still has it. I want to see him knock someone out again.
Well, the
hangover.
last time we saw him, dude, he didn't have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, whether
You felt sorry for him, but I mean, 50-year-old Mike Tyson fighting fucking another 50-year-old man.
that's interesting to watch.
Yeah. Hopefully they want to keep it kind of fair,
Well, yeah, like at least
It's gotta
an
be the
even
same
weight class. Yeah.
well, same
There's gonna be
age,
stipulations, yeah, for sure.
Within 2 or 3 years difference, that's okay.
Because, I mean, who else could come out of retirement, so to speak, for a fight like that we would be interested in? So, like Jesus said, probably someone a little bit younger.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, maybe someone in their 40s will probably try to take that fight, but
You might even get like UFC guys going at them.
possibly.
Maybe.
Well, did you hear about that McGregor and
De La Hoya.
De
De
La
La
Hoya
Hoya?
fight? Yeah,
It's not an actual fight,
But
but they interviewed De La Hoya and they said how he would do against McGregor if they were to box.
yeah.
And De La Hoya, cocky as hell, said he won in the last two rounds. And then McGregor caught wind of that and said that he wants to do the fight.
I mean, in comparison to the fight that he had with Mayweather, I think De La Hoya hit harder, you know? So.
But De La Hoya's been out.
Past tense.
Yeah,
Past
De La
tense.
Hoya's been out for a while. He gained some weight.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
I mean, I can't say
No,
anything
no.
about it, but
De La
he's,
Hoya's gonna, right before he gets on the ring, dude, he's gonna do a little right on his butt. Let's go!
No.
he's gonna do it off of the Golden Boy production.
He's gonna sing one of the songs from his album, is what he's gonna do.
Yeah, that's probably. He's
Come
gonna
out dressed
he's
as a
gonna
woman.
sing in his own intro song.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, if that were to happen, it's a possibility that a lot of these retired fighters and celebrities are gonna start trying to make a trend out of this because YouTubers already started doing it,
Yeah.
and that's the whole point of them. Like that's why they're sponsoring and signing, like doing these one-day
These
contracts or
cross-sport
whatever.
things, yeah.
But not even cross sports. We're talking about YouTubers here. These YouTubers.
Oh, right, the Logan.
Yeah,
Duck shit
Logan
fought, whatever.
Paul and KSI.
Yeah.
So, and that's the whole point that I'm making about them trying to bring a young crowd in because those YouTubers, they have thousands of followers, almost practically millions of followers. Now all of them are watching boxing, and then now that they're seeing the supposed boxing match between two YouTubers, now they're looking into future events with actual boxers, and that's gonna raise up the ratings,
Yeah,
pay
I
more
can see that.
money. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what I'm saying, that they're trying to bring it back into a sport where back in the day, I mean, you remember sitting down watching Julio Cesar Chavez, you know, being a kid. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
people don't do that no more.
One of the things
So
I love
we
that
gonna
happened.
have like Sam and Paul box to see who had better grandfather.
Celebrity death match? Let's bring that back. How about that?
One of the things that I love that happened with boxing
Only if we get
recently
to 50,000 likes.
is
Only if we get to 50,000 likes.
is
50,000 likes.
You heard it. Like it, everybody. Like it, subscribe. It's gonna
We're
happen.
gonna do a fucking boxing match.
It's gonna happen.
In the corner, there's gonna be Bengay and towels and ice.
And this,
Might be
and
wearing
this
knee
match will
braces.
be
Knee braces, and he's gonna knock me out, and I'm gonna be standing because my knee braces are gonna be so bad.
And this fight will be
really take a
presented
hit.
by Beer of the Month. We will have a Beer of the Month for that fight.
In the corner, instead of water bottles, we have beer cans.
Yeah, I know.
You're alright, shake it off. Shake it off. Give me another shot.
Yes, our ring will be made with blankets and just rope that we find, but we're gonna have a ring.
50,000 likes.
It's cars. We just park the cars like that, and that's the ring.
Little box of
Some street boxing more like it, right?
Adam's gonna go home and create 50,000 different emails.
Like,
idea.
like.
You won't. You can't.
Taking all the crap too. Who's Mr. Smith? And why is he talking shit like he knows me? Alright guys, so 50,000 likes, that is what we're shooting for.
And
50,000
one lucky
likes.
fan might get a tooth. You never know. If they knock a tooth out, you might get the tooth.
Someone's gonna be selling a sweaty knee brace.
That's gonna be the championship belt. Alright. Alright guys, so 50,000 likes, so we'll see if it happens, alright?
And the championship belt's gonna say best grandpa ever.
Alright guys, well that's our show. We definitely appreciate you joining us today, and hopefully we get to the 50,000 likes. We want to see that match happen. But join us
Like and
again.
subscribe though.
Please like,
Wherever
subscribe.
The little things at.
Please like and subscribe wherever the buttons are, if you can find it.
There we go.
And let's keep it going, guys. We're gonna have a next episode pretty soon. Hopefully, we'll have a beer of the week. We're gonna get in contact with some of the breweries now that everything's opening back up, so that way we can start introducing you guys to some more beers, and we'll have some reviews on there.
And always remember, don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive. Awesome. Well, guys, it was a pleasure. Thanks for joining. It was nice seeing you guys again after a month and a half.
Sorry, you guys again too.
So
Remember,
can't
50,000 likes.
wait for the next episode. On behalf of Guys, Beers, and Sports, guys, take care.
Take care.
Yeah.